I'm here with Coach Young, and we're here to do an interview for this upcoming game against Frisco Centennial. Coach, I'd like to ask you, what is the injury report heading into Week 2?
We're actually getting a couple people back. Colby Davis got injured last week. He plays some linebacker and some special teams, and we probably won't get him back the rest of the year, and that's a shame. Kobe's a good kid and has worked hard. So that's really the one from the game last week. Kellen Culberson, our starting center, got dinged up in practice a little bit. We expect him to be back next week, but he won't play this week. That's always a scary thing when you have to go into a game, especially at center. Center is such an important part of the offense, and just the snapping of the ball can be a really critical thing. So we hope to fill that spot in. Irwin's going to step in there. He's done a good job at practice. So we're confident in him to be able to handle that, even though that's a really big load to go into center for the first time. But we are getting Machuca back. He was unable to play last week. He was a first-team, all-district defensive end. So that's a really big deal to get somebody like that back. So having him is going to really help us. So we're getting some people back that have been kind of banged up. So actually we're in pretty good shape. Running back-wise, we'll be a lot healthier this week, too. We'll have Nava back. So he was our starting fullback, and he didn't get to play last week. So getting Nava and Machuca back are two big pieces.
Coach, the run game struggled just a little bit last week. Are you going to lean more on the pass, or is the run still first for this team?
Well, we need to keep running the ball. Last week was such a we're really confident in our defense. So, one of the things that I think, we probably made a mistake is, and we talked about it this weekend as coaches, we probably were a little bit too conservative. But, as that game was unfolding, we were playing such good defense at the time. We thought really, especially in the third quarter, if we were to get one more score, it would be really hard for them to come back. And unfortunately, we moved the ball into their end a couple times and didn't get any points. We really felt good about, if we don't turn the ball over, we still have kind of an inexperienced line. What can really be difficult is to start throwing the ball a lot early in the season. That's kind of a scary thing, not only for the line to handle, but, you don't want to get your quarterback the first few weeks of the season where, we're throwing the ball 40 times and he's having to worry about the rush because it can be hard on your quarterback. But, I thought we ran the ball at times well. Some of our run game that was probably sometimes it would be an offensive lineman doing something wrong. We also made some wrong reads in the option where we probably should have given it a couple times or kept it. For the first time of running this running game, which is totally new for us, I thought we did a pretty good job. We rushed for a lot more yards against them last week than we did last year. I thought we were able to kind of keep the defense off the field, which was something we wanted to do that I think helped our defense play really well. Our running game, I think, will keep getting better as our offensive line gets kind of used to this new offense and our quarterback gets used to the reads. But they had a couple big guys up front that gave us some problems, and those guys were for real. Their defensive tackle, 82, is a really good player, and he gave us fits all night.
Coach, I got to ask you, Frisco Centennial has two very good returning starters on offense. They have quarterback Weston Simmies, who threw for 2 touchdowns last game, had a very good outing against Frisco, and running back Hunter Williams, who had 21 carries for 117 yards. How do you plan to stop that rushing and passing attack?
Well, I think the first thing we got to do is stop the running game, and that's always the first part of it. So it's going to be up to our front to kind of control their running game, get them into, long yardage on second and third down, make them a throwing team. Their quarterback can throw the ball around some, but I think if we can get them in those situations a lot, we have a chance to get the ball and turn the ball over and make some big plays. I'm happy the way our run defense played last week. We got a little bit tired at the very end, which is going to happen, especially in the first week, and that was a really good running back Denton had. So I thought we did a really good job. Whenever you give up less than 300 yards of offense in this day and age of football, you've had a good defensive night. So I expect us to play really well again defensively this week, and if we can kind of control that running game and make them into some really obvious passing situations, I think it's going to be a good night for us.
Coach, will a win this week set the tone after last week's tough loss?
Yeah, you need to win. winning makes practice and everything. It'll tell you make things easier. And everybody was disappointed last week. I thought we dominated most of that football game. And when you outplay somebody, but you don't put them away, that's the kind of thing that can happen. So I think that was some things that we can learn from both sides of the ball. You'd much rather learn from winning. But we also know, too, that we've talked about it, that, you can go 3-0 in non-district. That once the district starts, those wins mean nothing. So what we got to do is keep getting better. But a win tonight would be nice to get. It's you do all this stuff in the off season and everything. It's good to have that feeling afterwards, and we're going to need it, kind of some extra momentum here before we go into bye week and go into district.
Coach, I want to thank you again for your time, and I'm looking forward to watching the Lake Dallas Falcons go against Frisco Centennial and hopefully get another Falcon win. Thanks again, Coach.
All right,